It's been acting crazy. Oh my God, it worked.
Yeah, this time it worked. I don't know what was going on.
Jesus, I've been trying to pull you up, and I'm like, maybe he's asleep in the audience.
No, I had tried to get on, but I never did get the call. And then it was like once you said it, once you sent me the message, then they
Hmm.
started popping up where I missed the call, but I was on and I never did get that call.
Oh, okay.
I
Were
never
you
did
able
get
to
it, but
hear any of what we were saying?
I heard no, I heard most of it. I heard most of it.
Okay, so what's your take on some of it? Because I would like to get your perspective as well on some of what was asked.
Um, well, as far as I mean, I know I heard one part like the men looking for the traditional woman or whatever. I believe at this point, like everybody's not traditional.
Right.
I don't believe that there's a traditional woman out there because I mean, if you want to go back to tradition, then you would have to be the stay at home. You know what I'm saying? You're not out in the workforce. You're not doing those things that women are doing now. So it's like I feel like that there is no traditional woman, like there's no traditional man. That's just my
So,
opinion. Though.
okay, so the question that I posed, because I did speak to another gentleman, and it was brought up accidentally, to be honest. But
Hmm.
the question that I was saying was, as far as traditions and what a man's role typically has been,
Okay.
um, that was the tradition I meant. As far as a man's role, being the provider, being the protector, being, what men
Yeah.
typically have been known to do. Do you
Hmm.
feel that that has been under attack? Because there are still men that believe in that. And it's not necessarily, they're not cavemen. I don't think they're cavemen. I think that
Hmm.
the roles um, that men have been portrayed in were, held to a standard. And now it's like, what are the roles now? Like, it's almost like people are lost because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So,
Um,
what do you think?
I believe in because I think me and my co-host, we have our own podcast, but we talked about it. But I believe there is no like there's no roles. I mean, I feel like yes, the man's supposed to protect and do all that stuff, but as far as like bringing money into the home and stuff like that and all that stuff, I mean, it's a 50-50 thing now at this point because you have some women that make just as much or more than men.
Right. I
So
agree.
you have some men that they're stuck in their ways to be like, well, I pay all the bills and I do all this, and in a lot of households it's not like that.
Right.
Just like well, in my household, um, this is my third marriage, and we've been married almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years next month, and the way it goes at our house is
Congratulations on that.
it's thank you. It's 50-50.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I take care of most of the bigger bills. She take care of more of the smaller bills because I make a little bit more. But
Right.
for the most part, I mean, we look at it with a team. If I don't have it, she got it. Vice versa.
Yeah, I
So
agree with that. I think that's a good way because I think it takes pressure off of both parties.
yes,
Um,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It takes the stress and pressure off of
Hmm.
both parties. My other question in what I was talking to Icon was, as far as it just slipped my damn mind. God Lord. Sorry, I have ADHD, and if I don't say
Oh
it,
no,
it
you're
doesn't come
fine.
out. Um.
You're fine.
Oh. Okay. So this was the other one that I mentioned too. Roles. As far as I don't know if you have any kids or anything like that. What do you
Yes.
think?
Hmm.
What do you think we're doing wrong as raising these kids? Like especially boys. Like what do we need to improve on when it comes to raising boys? And so that you know, this is not a show to pick on men. This is a show to
Hmm.
actually hear the man's point of view and your perspective because I don't think it's been broadcasted enough. I think a lot of
Hmm.
the times it's what women want, what women say, how women feel, and I don't think the men get their say in a lot of things. And so it's your perspective that I'm looking for. There's no right or wrong answer. I just
Hmm.
want to see how you think about things as from a man's point of view.
Okay. Well,
So,
as far as that, I mean, I have, well, between me and my wife, we have 4 kids. One of them is mine biologically. She has the other three. But, I mean, the biggest thing is, and like I said, a lot of this stuff, well, the question that you asked is stuff that me and Big Hood, my co-host, well, the host of
hmm
our show, that's what we've talked about it. But, and we caught a lot of flack
hmm
for it, but it was a lot of, as far as like some single moms and stuff like that, and things like that. But I feel like if the if the father wants to be involved, let him be
hmm
involved. You know what I'm saying? Because the situation I ran into with my son and his mom was, we broke up right before she had him. So he's never seen me and her in a relationship. So it
Right.
was just one of them things where I started seeing someone else.
hmm
Um, she was mad, jealous, whatever. And it was like a constant sign over your rights type thing.
Mm,
And, you know, I ignored it because I mean, I'm not going to sign over my rights. That's my son. So I'm not going to do that.
right.
But I just feel like let that man be involved, no matter what his situation is. If he's seeing someone else and you know what I'm saying? Cause all men aren't bad fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I feel like I feel like they, let them spend time with their sons, let them spend time with their daughters and stuff like that. Especially sons,
Right.
because I mean, most time I don't agree with Big Hood, but for the most part I do. I just don't say it in our show, but it's
Right.
just one of them things where you have to uh let a father be a father,
Right.
no matter what the issue is with him, with y'all or whatever. But let him be there for his son because I feel like a dad can only raise his son. That's what I feel like.
Okay. And I can understand that part because I know with me, I have a daughter. She's older. She's 24, but her father and I we split up when she was 2. So in the beginning, she was daddy's girl. Everything was daddy, daddy, daddy. And at first, I was
Hmm.
like, "What the hell? Like you came out of me." But then I realized that eventually she's gonna come to me because there's certain things that daddy doesn't know. And right
Exactly.
around 12 is when her body started to change and she started to have certain things that she wasn't aware of. And that's when the dynamic shift because now she needed to ask somebody who went through it. And unfortunately, daddy didn't go through that. He didn't go
Exactly.
through certain changes. So I agree with you there because in the beginning, and I've seen this with multiple people in my family, the boys are mommy's boys until they get to a certain age when they're like, okay, well, what do I do with myself? Because now my body's changing and mommy don't have the
Hmm.
same body,
Exactly.
you know? So I agree with you there. Absolutely. Um,
And not trying to be funny, it could run into a situation like my
right.
one of my cousins, because he wasn't around his dad like that. He mostly around his mom and his grandmother.
hmm
He ended up, I think he was like 18, 19, and he ended up getting an STD or whatever. And it was one of those
mm
situations where he went in his grandma's room and was like, there's something down there. And he just like pulled his pants down. And
Right.
I'm like, come on, man. Even if you go to your dad, you know what I'm saying? You can talk to your dad. He can talk you through it. You ain't pulling your pants down
Right.
in front of him, but he can talk you through it. But that's why I said a lot of those situations, let the dad be the dad. So,
So, and I have to agree with that because I think a lot of there are some women that just should not, they just should not be mothers, point blank, period. And I know I get a lot of slack for saying that, but I really don't care because it's the fucking truth. They use their, children to attack the man, or they use
hmm,
the children to hurt him. And it's like, why? Because the one that's really getting hurt is the kid. It's not him. Yeah, he's getting
that's
hurt a
true.
little bit, But your child's growing up with all this animosity, all this pain, and all this conflicting, I hate him, you look like him kind of shit. And it's like, why? Why would you do that? You
But
know?
I didn't
So,
run
yes.
into that. What I ran into was she told my son like everything I did wrong, like the cheating
Right.
and all the other stuff. So he had animosity toward me to where we just
Mm-hmm.
had a discussion and I was like, just say what's on your heart. I don't care if you curse or whatever. He let him roll. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We got clarity. And like I told him, I said, even though me and your mom wasn't together, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have done things a little bit differently than what I've done. But as far as loving him any less, no,
Mm-hmm.
So,
So now, and one of the other questions I asked him was, what do you, when it comes to holding other men accountable for either, not being there for their kid or doing things that are inappropriate in their relationship, do you think men hold their friends accountable, or should they do it more? Because they always say women need to do that, which I absolutely fucking agree. Us ladies need to
hmm
hold these women accountable. Absolutely. Do you think men need to do that, or are they doing that?
um, well, I think they should, but I know in our friend circle, we do.
Hmm.
We hold each other accountable for certain things. One thing, I mean, for sure, like everybody, you know, all of us, we're in our kids' lives. So that's one thing. And as far as like, any cheating or anything like that, not gonna lie to you, we make jokes, but we do hold each other accountable for things. But it's not like that in all circles.
Right.
So, but I think that's something that we should work on as men.
Hmm. I agree. Um, Now, I asked a previous panel this, and I'm going to ask you because I want to see your point of view on it.
hmm
What do you feel is the number one thing single mothers are doing wrong when raising young boys?
Um, uh, I can only deal with my situation. So, like I said, I think just talking shit about the dad. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the situation is not, it's one, like I said, if he's seeing, like, if he's seeing someone else, or sometimes
Right.
just two people aren't meant to be together, in a relationship. So I know that's, like I said, that's one of the things I went through. As far as anything else, I'm not for sure. Like I said, my my host, co-host or whatever, Big Hood, he's a mentor, so he knows a little bit more about that than I do,
Who?
as far as that aspect of it. Big Hood.
Oh, really?
hmm
Oh,
Yeah, he's a mentor, so he mentors
oh. I wish I would have known. I'd have had him on
young
the
men.
panel too.
He's right there in the audience right now.
If you want to come up, Bigwood, let me know. I'll bring you up. I, I want to get different perspectives. Absolutely. Just hit the plus sign. I think it's still open. But yeah, okay. So, and like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. My whole thing is, well, I want to know, what it is that we're not seeing. Um, my other question is, as far as within relationships, like I know that women tend to nag a lot. I
hmm
don't think I'm one of them. I say that lightly. I don't think I nag a lot. I am a drill sergeant though. I will be like, yo, what you doing? Like, you need to be doing a show. Don't you need to be? But I don't think I nag. Um,
Yeah, my wife is like that.
she nags.
Well, not really nags, but yes, you sure you gotta do that show right now? Type thing,
Yeah,
you could be doing
yeah.
this type thing. Yeah.
So in relationships, what do you think women should work on? I mean, I know you're in one, and yours seems, yours is good thus far, but just seeing outside and knowing what your friends and other people in your family are going through, what is it that you think women should work on within the relationship? Like, what is their downfall sometimes?
I think well, it's not so much just women, but just in relationships in general, communication. You have to have communication. If you if you're mad about if you're feeling some type of way about something, then say it right then versus being mad and holding on to it and not talking,
Right.
you know, and now you don't want a whole day and not say anything to each other. So now it's just festered over for a whole, for another 24 hours.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. What's his name? Big Hood.
Big good.
Why did I say what? What up, Big Hood? Nice to meet you.
Hey, hey, nice
Beautiful.
to meet you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. Did you want to contribute to anything thus far that you heard? Because I did see you down there. I just thought you were just, listening. I didn't realize that you were part of the podcast that he does.
Oh yeah, I'm the host of Them Damn Country Boys podcast. Um,
Okay.
yeah, we had a lot of the questions you asked. We had a lot of conversations about. Um,
Mhm.
when you said something to the effect of, "What are we doing wrong?"
Right.
Um, I find out when I'm dealing with young men. I think it was, "What are we doing wrong when raising young boys?"
Right.
Um, the younger ones I deal with, a lot of them don't know what accountability. A
Mm,
lot of them have a lot of they're emotionally unstable, and that's the
okay.
hardest thing I have when I'm having to basically break them out of. They're very emotional. Now, we've caught a lot of flack from this because I have said, and I'm not saying all, but I have
Hmm.
said, women are emotional creatures, and men shouldn't be.
Okay. Now,
We react
before we,
when.
okay.
Uh,
Well, I wanted to say real quick. I don't know if you heard, but um, as far as how this panel runs, don't worry about
hmm
saying anything out of pocket because
Okay.
I'm not thin skinned whatsoever. I don't always agree
Okay.
with the women, and so say what you got to say
Okay.
and don't worry about
Okay.
it.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You're welcome.
But we I have to teach young men who have learned from their mothers
Hmm.
how to be really emotional,
Okay.
and let it fly. And with men, you can't be that. And I've said this over and over. We have to learn how to control our emotions, even in general conversation. Uh,
Hmm.
if we don't control our emotions, when it comes to two men, it often results in violence and somebody getting hurt. You know,
You know
it
what?
happens a lot with women too, but mostly with men. So when I'm trying to get these young guys to learn how to work on a job site, how to
Uh-huh.
learn to just deal with people in public. Like I had one young man that he didn't want people looking at. That was a
Mm,
problem for him. What is that?
mhm.
What is he looking? Why are you looking at me? Like, dude, he got on sunglasses. You can't see his eyes. You don't know what he's looking at. Have you ever thought of that?
Wow.
And they don't think of that. And half the time when I ask them, where did you learn that at? Where did you learn somebody looking at you as a problem? My mom don't like nobody looking at her like that either.
Mm,
And I'm
okay.
trying to teach these young men that, you know, a lot of times you have to hold some of that emotion in, think for a minute, then
Mhm.
release it. You can't just let everything fly. And I think that's a big issue when it comes to. I was raised by mostly men. Now, my mother,
Mhm.
uh, great mother. I had a great mother. And I will say, I came up in a quote unquote what was supposed to be a traditional household. My mother and father married. They
Mhm.
still married to this day. They haven't ever had married to anybody else. They've been together
Okay.
since they was teenagers. Uh, so I was lucky in that aspect of it. I had also had grandfathers, uncles, men that I was around a lot. Men
Okay.
raise men. That's just the way it goes. And women raise women. I got a
Right.
daughter. I don't have a son. I have a daughter.
Mhm.
I can teach my daughter how men react to things and why
Right.
we react to things. But I cannot teach my daughter how to be a woman because I've never been one. Can't do it.
Right.
And anybody who
You know.
think they can, that's that's a mistake, I think.
You know what? It's interesting you say that because on a previous panel, when I posed that question,
Hmm.
And it was what is the one thing single women are doing wrong. One of my panelists said the same thing. It was emotions, that men need to be able to control their emotions, because if not, it can result in violence. And I thought that's interesting that you said that.
Yeah, that
And I
happens a lot.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, and I know this for a fact, women are actually, yeah, we are the emotional beings out of the two, but
Hmm.
men are active. They are reactive as opposed to
Right.
women. We're not. Men are action orientated and women are not. And I
Hmm.
think that's the difference.
Yep. And a lot of the kids that I deal with have been in trouble. And that's
Hmm.
all it is most of the time. It's emotional reaction. I had
Mm,
one of my guys. I don't like to call them kids because usually when I get like 14 to 18, sometime in their 20s, you know,
mm,
um, I don't like to call them kids. I refer to them as sir, and I want them to call me sir. The reason why I do that
okay.
is because until they start to see a lot of them don't see themselves as a sir ever. They don't ever see
Right.
themselves being a sir to anybody.
Mm,
They don't see that. So when I'm teaching them that, I have a lot of pushback from their mothers. You know, uh, why are you saying sir to him? You're a grown man. He's a boy. Well,
mm,
he needs to learn to be in the workplace. If he's in the workplace and that's what they're doing in that particular workplace, he needs to be okay with doing the same thing.
mm,
You know, that's just the way it goes. And when you have that kind of pushback, and like I said, we as men, we can't control our boys, then we can't continue to say we're men.
mm. Okay.
We got to get a hold of this somewhere.
Okay.
I just don't understand how we've let it slip so far, and I get more pushback from mothers on my tactics. But when their children are graduating,
Mhm. Right.
I'm never mentioned on Facebook. I'm never the person saying, I'm glad I let my son talk to him, because I'm never that person. Now behind closed doors, yeah, thank you for talking to my son. Thank you for getting him to this point.
Right.
But you know, when I'm doing my my thing, it's always pushback. It's always I don't want him saying sir. I don't want him to be called sir. He's in my household. Okay, I understand that.
Mm.
But this child has to be hireable. he has
So do
he
you?
has to be hire. We have to be able to get him in a workplace somewhere. So if you
Right.
don't want him in your household forever, let me
Right.
do me. Let me teach him something. Let me teach him how to conduct himself amongst men. You know.
You know what? Coming from, I'm Puerto Rican, so coming
Hmm.
from a Hispanic family, um, my grandmother raised a lot of her grandchildren, because a lot of my uncles or aunts were on drugs, so she raised a lot of the grandkids.
Hmm.
And my question is, do you think that women coddle their boys too much and it becomes a detriment?
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, and men in the same aspect do the same thing to their daughters. I do.
With the girl,
I'm guilty of doing
right?
it to
I
my
thought.
daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I've had to correct that myself because I was creating a monster. So, but as far
Right.
as men, women doing it to young boys, that's one of my biggest things I have a problem with. When I discipline, and I'm not a harsh disciplinary person. I think you can discipline a person in a way that is more constructive than destructive. I
Right.
can tell him, hey, go sit in the car for a little bit until you get your head together and come back and talk to me. That's gonna
Right.
bother him that I'm not mad at him and I'm not emotional. He's trying to figure me out at that point. He's trying to figure out why isn't he hollering and cussing after I done did what I done.
Mm.
And then when I come back and talk to him, hey man, how you feeling about what happened? And I talk to him and give him a chance to explain. A lot of times they never had a chance to explain it because all they hear is, I don't want to hear that S out of you. And it's just,
Right.
they don't get a chance to explain. So I give them a chance to explain and say, hey man, that's not what we do. So this is what's going to happen. If you can't do that, stay in the car. Once he see everybody else out there for a while and see everybody else conforming to what we got to do, pretty soon he's going to want to do the same thing. You know.
Now, so I have another follow up question on that. I'm gonna give it to
Hmm.
you. Let you guys think about it real quick.
I don't know if it's just on my end, but like Bree has a connection. She's reconnected.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello?
it is on my end too.
Hello?
Oh, there you
Huh?
go. All right, there you
Yeah.
go.
Okay, let me start that over. Okay, so how do you feel about the single mothers that now turn their boys into you're the man of the household at a young age? Hold your thoughts real quick. Let me hit these bubbles, and then you can answer.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna play yours because you have one in here.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna walk out to the studio real quick.
All right, all right, we got Scorpio energy.
A lot of people think that women hold on to things way more, and it's actually men. And I learned this by having two boys and two girls. The boys, even the girls that broke their heart from middle school or elementary, or I have a son, a girl, quote unquote, broke his heart from kindergarten. He still held on to that and based every girl after that on her. And I think that's one of the most craziest things that guys do. And they actually miss out on wonderful girls and women because they're holding on to something from kindergarten. Let it go.
Guilty.
Oh, okay. All
Guilty.
right. He
Innocent,
said guilty.
because I'm innocent. I never been heartbroken, so
All
Brandy
right.
C. I ain't gonna say your last name, but Brandy C. I remember when you hit me with that Lincoln Log, and I ain't forgot. I seen you in the grocery store up there. I ain't do nothing. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there.
That's funny. All right, we got Scorpio.
The young boys aren't even the issue anymore. It's the older men that aren't being a great example to the young boys. It's the older men that instead of talking to their wives, they're killing them. The young boys are watching this and now they're doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we got one more, and then I'll let you answer.
Shout out to the panel. Great conversation.
Hey, thank you. So, what do you say about that? And then you can go ahead. Both of y'all can answer the question that I posed.
Okay. Will you repeat the
what do you
question?
think?
You want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, run over the question right quick.
So my question was, what do you feel about the women, the single mothers that now turn their 15-year-old boys into the man of the house?
You want to go first, co-host? Or you want me to do it?
No, you go first.
It's an absolute mistake. Don't do
Mm.
that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they actually believe you, and if you get in another relationship with a man, you're gonna have a big problem. I got an auntie that's going through the same thing. I got a cousin that's 40-something years old. He's been the man, quote unquote, the man of the house
Mm-hmm.
all these years, and that's just the role he's taken up.
Mm.
And he don't want to do anything else. He don't want to go in. He don't want to venture out on. He got kids that's living in his mama's house with him.
Wow.
He don't want to go out nowhere. He don't want to. He don't want to do it because that's in his mind. That's his house. And I'm gonna be honest. Like your previous co-host said, I've been in that. I've done that. I've been homeless, and when I came back to my parents' house, I was paying most of the bills of my parents' house. So I figured that was my house, not realizing that's still my parents' house. I still under their rule.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was paying the bills, hey, I'm the man of the house, even with my father in there, until my dad had to correct me on that real fast.
Right.
So yeah, that's a big mistake. Don't ever tell a child, now you're a man of the house. He needs to find his own,
Right. I agree.
or dwelling.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I feel, and like I said, I have a girl. I don't have a boy, but I don't see the reasoning for that whatsoever. Because I think it's manipulative for women to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
he's naturally a protector and a defender. So to turn your child into your protector and defender, it's a little manipulative for me. I can't agree with that. And so
And
when you do start dating, like you said, he's going to go into protective mode because that's what you allowed him to turn into.
I'll turn into baby boy.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, and the problem with that is a lot of times, and I don't know if that's just here in the South where we're at, but I see a lot of times that they only get that role. They only get that privilege of saying he's the new man of the house when they got a job and they're paying or contributing to bills. And when I say job,
Yeah.
I mean they got some sort of income. And
Mhm.
where
Mm-hmm.
we're from, where me and 46 is from, the majority of the times when young men get that title, it's because they in the street selling dope and kicking their mama off something.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
their mama ain't saying nothing because that's the man of the house now. He bought me this car. He's bought me all this stuff is
Mm-hmm.
flying great until the feds show up.
Right.
And that's just the way it goes where we're from.
Yeah, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe you should be living off of your kids either. I feel like you should really have something going for yourself so that way they can leave the house.
Absolutely.
You want to set them up. Like my
Absolutely.
daughter's 24. She's going to graduate college at the end of this year. I don't mind that. I'm helping her. She's doing the right thing. But I don't expect her to be with me.
Oh, my bad. That was a habit. That's a habit.
You playing your hand claps? Okay.
Yeah, my hand claps. My bad.
Okay.
She reconnected. But yeah, that was a habit. Force of habit.
Yeah. Well.
Ah, for the love of God, this damn app. Let me
Yep.
get these to you real quick. We got
Okay.
Scorpio.
Case in point, when I was in the second grade, there was this boy that liked me, and we were on the playground. He asked me for a kiss. I said no. He actually took my neck, and that's when they used to do like the chains on the tires for the swings, and he put the chains around my neck. I still have the scar till this day. This is in second grade.
Damn.
I still have the scar till this day. Now, what if I had thought, based on what he did, that all guys or boys was abusive? What if?
Mm.
That boy.
Do men hold on to stuff that long, like grade school and shit?
I can't speak for everybody,
Nah,
Like,
but
damn.
me,
no, I don't. I don't.
I do. No,
I
not
don't.
to that extent. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
When I want my get back, I am methodical. Like I will stretch it out over 15 years if I have to.
Shit, what are you, a Scorpio?
And actually, I'm a Virgo, but I just
Oh,
yeah,
God. Better know.
I got the patience of. I
Yeah.
got more patience than anything you can ever think of in your life. Like
Wow.
I've went through my my ex. I think I paid back. It got to the point where I had to stop and think to myself. I was like, you know what? Don't nobody deserve this kind of get back.
Oh,
You
man.
know,
So you were
don't
like,
nobody
you
deserve
know
that.
what? Self, maybe we should know.
Yeah,
You
I
did a
was.
self conversation.
Yeah, I was like, that was just too much. It got to the point where I was doing something one day that was it was just gonna be diabolical, and I was just so happy about it. And I'm driving home thinking about, this is gonna work out great. And I got this big smile on my face, and I looked at myself in my rearview mirror, and I was like, "What are you doing? You're in a happy relationship with somebody else." And if she wouldn't have did what she did, you would have never been in a relationship with this person, and you still need some get back. There's a problem somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you were able to get to that point. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people don't get to that point.
That's true.
Oh, some of the stuff I was doing was just heinous though, and I apologize to her to now. Even everything she don't know half the stuff I did. Whew, God, it was awful. I don't wish that on nobody.
But see, I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite because I don't dwell on what happened when I was in elementary school all the way, you know what I'm saying? If I was done wrong, then but me and my brother, we were raised differently. So, with our dad, he was more or less, you know what I'm saying? You don't cry for no woman. If it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. But my mom was like, well, sometimes, people are in your life for a season. And the problem goes into sometimes we hold on to it longer than what we're supposed to. So that's why I said it was like, I never had any ill feelings toward anybody that may have done me wrong or whatever.
But you ain't never been through a heartbreak though.
Yeah, because I don't care. It's different. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, like, it sounds messed up. Because I don't care. Because I don't care. I literally had my second wife tell me she cheated on me. What did I do? I went on ahead and opened up my secret account. I I still maintain bills at that house, but I was making sure I had money. So when we separate, I'm set up. I don't that was my get back was just leaving. I mean, I'm not gonna
Right.
be. I'm finna cry. I'm not about to do that.
I'm a man.
And
I
that's
consider myself being an upstanding citizen now. But back when I first got my first heartbreak, I considered myself a street dude, a thug, all of the above. I carried a 45 everywhere I went. You knew this 46. Most places we
yeah.
went, I had a 45 on me. I didn't care, but I didn't present myself as that because I always been emotionally controlling. Like I could control my emotions,
Right.
but I didn't think two ways or another about if I had to hurt you, I would, no problem.
Mhm.
But when I got my first heartbreak, let me tell y'all something. I
Oh
was
shit.
ugly crying. I was. You wanna know what love is? Boogers just coming down my face. I'm in the dark by myself eating ice cream and shit. I don't even like ice cream. It was just a problem. I was heartbroken. And you know how they say, it'll either kill you or make you fat. Well, I was already big, so I was on the verge of death.
You know
It was
what though?
hard.
I'm gonna be honest though. We don't hear that enough though.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't hear
men
that
go
enough.
through it.
Yeah, see, I don't hear that part. I hear a lot of, oh well, he did this and he did that and he walked away. But we don't really hear that men get heartbroken as bad as women.
You know what
We
you
don't
hear
hear that.
most of the time?
What?
Man, at 6 o'clock, man goes to woman's house and shoots everybody in the house. More at
Oh yeah.
6. Yeah, we
Yeah.
break different. When we
Yeah.
really in love
Yeah.
with you, we break different. You know, I've had a couple of friends that went through their first heartbreak and they turned to me because they knew I ain't afraid to say it. You know, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna be real with you. I ain't afraid to say it. So yeah, I warned a lot of my friends like, hey, look, man, hey, let me tell you, when you need somebody to talk to, when you go through your first one, come holler at me. Come holler at me.
Right.
Don't try to keep it in because it's something else. You know.
Mhm.
But that made me also understand this. It made me more responsible in relationships because I know
See,
what it
that's
feel
a
like.
good thing. That's a good. So, do you think because you allowed yourself to feel those feelings that it made you a little bit more empathetic towards women because of it?
Let me let me be real with you.
Be
I
honest.
didn't allow myself to feel that. Myself felt
Mm.
that. If I could have kept myself from feeling it, I definitely would have. That is the worst thing. And I explained this to my older brother because my older brother ain't never been through it neither. I
Mhm.
was explaining to him. He's like, "Well, what is it? Is it that bad?" I was like, "Man, you remember when me and you was in the hospital and we watched our grandmother take our last breath?"
Aw.
And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "It's worse than that." And I said, "I'm gonna tell you something because we knew our grandma and we knew she had passed. She was gone. There was no coming
Right.
back. This person is still right down the street from me, having a good time, partying it up on the weekend.
Aw.
So that makes it worse. You know,
Right.
that makes it a whole lot worse. I mean, and I think that's what a lot of people who are not mostly stable,
Mhm.
that's what they think in their head. You know, well, if you're off this planet, I'll feel better about it. It'll stop hurting me as much. That's when
Ah.
they go crazy. You know,
Okay. That's the
yeah.
sociopath and the psychopath
Right.
thinking. Yeah. I
I
get
can
it.
stop
Or
this hurt if I make you hurt. You know,
Right.
or if I can't have you, nobody else will.
true.
Type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like possession though. That's more
Yeah.
possessive way. That's
I
yeah,
got
that's
chased by a
wild.
couple of them.
You know what though? Women are like that too. It's crazy. I've seen shit that women done, and I'm like, why? Like, I get it that you're heartbroken because I think everyone goes through heartbreak, but is it really that serious for you to like? I can never get to that point. Now, if it was my child, it may be different, but for me to get crazy and lose my mind because of some man, I just don't see that.
I
I just
think
don't.
mine was more along the lines. She was the first one to actually, you have that one that'll put it on you in a certain way. I think that
Oh,
was
she
mine.
put it on you. That's what it
Yours was
was.
sexual.
Yeah,
Oh,
She had your
you talking
toes
about
curling.
the
you talking
cowgirl.
about the cowgirl? Yeah,
Yeah, the
okay.
cowgirl. Yeah, the
Cowgirl,
cowgirl was
yeah.
something
She
else.
had them
Woo!
toes curling. Okay,
Ooh, Lord.
that's different. All right,
I
let me
went
get these.
back for years after
You
that.
went just for that?
Yeah, just for that. And yeah, that was part of my get back, half the time. I was plotting and scheming with that just to get that. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, but sorry. You
So
go ahead.
why did you stop?
I'm getting a,
Why did you stop
I
going?
stopped. I
Mhm.
stopped when
Mhm.
this gonna sound real awful, and I know I'm gonna get some shit for
Yeah.
this. She got pregnant,
By you?
and no, we had been together for a long time, and we was raw and uncooked meat a lot.
Mhm.
And she got pregnant, and she was on drugs.
Mm.
So we all know what it takes to make a child, and we hadn't been
Right.
together in like 3 or 4 months.
Oh.
And I come in off the road one week, and I get a phone call from her just as I'm about to go to sleep, and she's like, I missed my monthly," and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, so what did he say about it? She goes, "That's why I'm calling you." I was like, hell, I don't know him.
Oh shit.
and come to
Mm.
find out, she just forgot that she hadn't been with me. Yeah,
Oh.
and that's what stopped. Yeah, but yeah,
How do
that
you
was
forget though? That don't make no sense. How you
she was
forget?
getting high. She was
Oh,
getting high.
okay.
Big.
That
That was
makes
one
sense.
of the reasons why we separated too. She was getting high,
Mm.
and I just
Okay.
don't do that type of thing.
Huh. That's interesting. All right. Let me get these 3 bubbles. We got Scorpio.
I feel like the mothers do that because finally I can control the man of the house. They don't really want them boys to have the responsibility of being a man of the house because that would mean somebody would tell her what to do. That's not what this is about. It's about control. Just the thought of me controlling the man of the house, him doing what I say. That's trauma.
Mm. As she listening to Medea in the back. Hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
All right. We got another one.
Yes, Bree, you are absolutely right. It is manipulative as shit.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. All right, we got one more.
Most Virgos are serial killers, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh shit, them damn
Let me.
Virgos.
Can I ask you this though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't do women do the same thing when it comes to dead? I can say deadbeat. What we have coined the phrase of saying pookies and ray rays. Don't they do the same thing? Like you appoint these men head of the house, knowing that they really have no real power, because at any time you can tell them to get the hell out.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I understood your question. So you talking
Mhm.
about women that get with guys that are really not doing much, and
Right.
appoint them the head of the house so that we can
Yep.
throw them out?
No, so you can still have that control. You can say you got a man in the house and all this,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it's not his house. You can always tell him to get your ass and get out as soon as he messes up. So I always put it like this: a man like me, I own my own house, I own my own car,
Mm-hmm.
and I can pay all my own bills.
Right.
So if a woman was to move, like say for instance, my lady now, we've been together since
Mm-hmm.
08. She moved in with me.
Mm-hmm.
She can never tell me at any time, get out of the house. You got to go.
Because it's yours.
Because it's my house, yeah. And I would
Right.
never tell her, hey, you got to get out of here and go. It would have to be some arrangements made, but that's just the way I feel. But so I see in a lot of relationships around me that some women appoint, they have these guys that don't have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're a lot of times street dudes. Put them in the
Right.
house with them. That's my man. That's the man of the house. Maybe he kicking him
Right.
off a little something when he, come up on the lick or whatever.
Right.
But then time he slip up and do something wrong or do something she don't agree with, is get the F out of my house.
That in itself, I think it's a form of control. Yes, absolutely. But I also think that can be a little bit of a financial abuse because it's her house. So
Right.
if she feels that she has that control, then that's abusive. Because at some point, I mean, don't you think? I mean, he's going to be in a house
Yeah.
where he knows that she at any time can sit there and say, okay, you can get the hell out because it's mine.
Right.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes sense.
abusive. Yeah, that's financial abuse.
I never thought about
Absolutely.
that like that.
That's why, and I have to be real with you. In relationships, for me, I don't feel either one of us needs to move into each other's homes. I feel we need to get one together, because
Right.
then no one has control over either one of us. Just like the
Right,
bank
right.
account. I don't believe in I don't believe in one bank account. I believe in a bank account for the
Mm-mm.
house and then separate bank accounts for yourself.
Amen. Yes.
Um,
Yes, I agree.
I'm being honest because you know it's
Right.
interesting. Me and Bliss had a show yesterday, and we had came across a situation where this lady was married to a man who paid everything, who was a great father, great provider, and they had one bank account. She didn't work, and he found out that she siphoned $22,000 out of the account and put it
Oh
into
I
a
Lord.
remember
separate
that.
account and didn't tell him.
Oh,
I saw that.
And her excuse was, well, if you're gone, then I need something for me. Not once did I hear her say, well, if you die, at least me and the kids are good. No, it was about her.
Jesus, take the wheel. Mm.
And honestly, I don't agree with that. I don't. I think that shit right there is selfish as fuck. I
Yeah.
just think it's selfish. And I
Yeah. You
think
should
it's
have a.
stealing. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
stealing. I don't You could be married or not, but you ciphering 22,000 and you're not
That's a
telling him,
lot of money.
that's a
That's a
lot
lot.
of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he was like, why didn't you just tell me you needed money? And she turned around and said, it's my money and I'm not giving it back. And it's like, it was like her secret stash. And he's like,
Mm.
but it's our money because I'm the one that works and you don't.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
what do you guys feel about that one?
You want to go 46?
I mean, I agree with Bree. I feel like because like you know what I'm saying in all my marriages we've had separate accounts. My second marriage, she quit her job as soon as she said I
She
did.
did.
She did. She quit.
She did.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was
No
like,
joke.
yeah, no joke. Yeah. So it was like, I was, like I said, I was paying all the bills, but like I said, once it was how she said it when she said she cheated.
Hmm.
Even though
Oh,
I saw the
she
text,
cheated?
I saw the text message. Like I was walking by and some dude text or whatever. So
Uh-huh.
it was how she said it and this and this and basically like I'm not going nowhere. Okay, that's what you think. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'll go along with your crazy. But
Right.
I end up opening another account separate from something that she didn't even know about. So I mean, I
Uh-huh.
feel like you should have everybody should have separate accounts.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you should have an account
Yeah.
for the house to make sure
Right.
bills are being paid, stuff like that. But then from
Right.
there, have this, have your own accounts.
I agree.
So
And I was raised in a family where like the women controlled all the money. Like the men paid everything, the women controlled everything. Even though
that's the way I
they
was raised.
may not contribute it, but the women control. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, my dad was a check giver. He still is. Like when his money comes in, it goes straight to my mom. She
Yeah.
take care. She take care of all the bills.
Hmm.
But they had a particular situation. Both of them, when I was coming up, I don't ever think either one of them ever made under $100,000.
Right.
So money wasn't a big issue with them, and my dad
Right.
was more inclined to just give the money to her and let her take care of it. But when he wanted
Right.
something, he just went out and bought it. He didn't ask her unless it was
Ask.
something like a car, you
Yeah.
know. And
See, I
and I can
understand
tell
that.
you right now, the only time he bought cars is for her. He didn't ever buy a car from his. My dad had the same
Mm.
truck from when I was 6 years old. He just got rid of that truck maybe 6 months ago. So
Wow.
he spent most of his money on her. I mean, but
Right.
he didn't have any problem with that. But in my household now,
Hmm.
uh, for context, she picked this house out. She found this
Okay.
house, picked it out. I bought it, moved in. A year
Okay.
later, her and my daughter moved in with me.
Okay.
So I'm more inclined to say this is her house. She's lived in this house more than I have, to tell you the truth.
Right.
I'm only here 2 days a week. I
Right.
work the
Okay.
rest of the time. So
Right.
when it comes to the money, I take care of the bills and stuff like that, but she pays what she can.
Hmm.
I can't really say it's 50-50. It's more like, she pay maybe 20% of the bills, maybe
Uh-huh.
10 or 15. I pay the
Hmm.
rest. And anything
Okay.
big that pop up, AC units, stuff like that, plumbing, electrical work, all that stuff, I
Right.
pay that stuff. Homeowners insurance. So it's I would never put her in a situation that I was in. 'Cause I've been homeless because of stuff like this.
Right.
Yeah, I was homeless. I slept in my car for 6 months
Wow.
because I
In your
didn't get my
truck.
stuff together. Yeah, my
Right.
pickup truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just had to correct that, didn't
With an air, with an air
you? It made
bed.
a
Don't
it made
forget,
a better
those are small
person out of me.
details. Those are
Hey,
small details. You can't leave that out.
me and my airbag, and I had an electric pump though. Hey, I had some lavish
Exactly.
luxury.
Exactly.
And I'm not picking on
Wow.
anybody. We're not picking on anybody's situation. My situation.
No, I'm picking on him.
I
I'm
was
picking on
I
him
was homeless because of ego.
Mm.
You know, because
because he could have reached
So
out, and
yeah,
that's
I
where
had a lot of people I could have
we
reached out.
rounded on out to. You know what I'm saying? As men, we don't look. We let our egos get in the way because none of us in our friend circle knew that he was homeless.
Yeah, nobody knew I
We
was
just
homeless.
thought he was. We just thought you was on the road all the time.
Nah, well, yeah, I was living out of a rest area at one point.
Really?
And y'all haven't lived until you know what the bail trick is. If you don't know what the bail trick is when you have to wash yourself at night in a rest area. You get you two little bells, like the bells that be on the Christmas ornaments, and you put strings on them, and you put them on the automatic doors on both ends of the building. So when you're in there trying to wash yourself in that restroom, and you hear one of those bells go off, you can hobble to one of those stalls. And when you hear the bell go off again, you know that person has left. So if you come from that to where I'm at now, you understand how important your financials is. Not trying to be Billy Badass, because I went from having horses and cattle and all that shit I had to basically nothing.
Wow.
I lost a matter of $30,000, $40,000 in a matter of months.
Wow.
So yeah, things can
So
spiral downhill real quick.
So you mentioned pride and ego with the men. Do you think that could be a number one issue too in relationships? Is the ego for men?
It was for me. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say that. Yeah, and mine was a funny ego. Because my ego, if you partake in any kind of penis, we're done. I can't do anything with you. After that, we're done. Anything other than that,
You mean cheating? If she cheats?
yeah, if she can cheat. We can work around cheating. But if you have sex with the guy, my ego flares in and we're done.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. What do you mean she can cheat?
Somebody, if she cheats with another woman, he's fine with that. But if she cheats with a man, then he has a problem.
Yeah, that too.
See,
And I consider cheating going out on a date. If you go on a date with a dude and we in a relationship, I consider that cheating. We can get over the date.
But actual sex is what you can't get over.
Once you get to the sexual portion of it, it's certain things you can do with that guy we can get over. But once you partake in the penis, it ain't no turning back.
But I have a question though. So she could cheat with a female and have sex with a female. You're good with that?
I wouldn't. I would ask for the tape, but
you stupid.
Other than that,
oh my God,
I don't care. I would not.
I was about to say because we've had this same conversation, and what you said
and I
was
know it's messed up.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you get to watch, you ain't got a problem.
Yeah, I'm good.
You know what? I mean, let's keep it real though. That's most men. Most men want to see two women. I mean, I've heard that shit ever since I can remember. I get that part.
Yeah.
But my thing was not knowing about it. I would think it would still be considered cheating, but I guess not.
No, I wouldn't
least
care
for
if
you.
it's a woman. If it's a guy, if I see y'all at Walmart, we got a problem. Yeah. I know it's hypocritical. I know it's kind of weird, but that's just me.
No, that's fine.
Of people. Yeah.
I know a lot of men. They want to do threesomes, but they want to do it with another woman. They don't want to do two men and their female. So yeah.
No.
Too many hot dogs.
And I'm
no.
See, and
I have
for me,
I have a fear that somebody's going to put their hand on my shoulders. I don't want that. So.
You pat you on the back while it's going on. Good job, bro. Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
How
shit,
that feel?
that's
How that feel, my boy? How that feel? No, I don't
Oh
want that.
no,
That's not.
that is a
No,
problem.
no,
I'm
that's the
done.
problem. We gotta fight
funny.
now. We have to fight. My manhood is in jeopardy. We gotta fight now.
He giving you pointers and stuff. If you go to the left a little bit, she gonna get a little like, man, why you talking to me? Nah.
Oh shit, that's
Uh,
funny. Mm-mm.
but yeah, my egos come involved when it comes to a woman cheating. When a man, I think women get over that a lot easier than men because we can cheat on a woman 15, 20 times. And
Some
she can
women,
forgive us every time. But let her cheat on us one time. Oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah.
some women can get over that and accept them over and over again. I personally cannot.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't believe in none of that bullshit. Mental cheating, physical cheating, none of that shit. If your
Right.
ass is where you not supposed to be, and you talking to who you not supposed to be talking to, it's a wrap. Cause you
Okay.
ain't the only man out there. It's a wrap.
Mm.
But that's just me.
Mm-mm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-mm.
And no, I don't know. If you with the man, woman, that's cheating. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Two men together, that's automatic cheating. I don't care if they single. I'm sorry, that's
Yeah.
messed up. I shouldn't say that.
He's stupid.
Y'all know I love y'all. I had to say I catch a lot of
Uh,
flack for that, but I love all communities. My thing is I always say you got one life to live. You'll be a fool not to live it like you want to. That's all I can say
Absolutely.
about
All right, we got one in the clip. Let's see.
Cross the line with penis participation.
it. There
I
you go.
understand that.
I'm talking about.
Hell no. You got to go.
That I'm just saying. Hey, I can't. Wow. But you know what? Everyone has their, because I do know some men that are with women and their female cheated, and he was, he took her back. I mean,
Mm,
that was another thing we discussed yesterday, where this guy, his his boy rented a room, right? His friend rented a room, got
mm.
his girl in the room, gave her $60. They were about to have sex, and her man walked through the door, and the words out of her mouth was, "Oh, we're not doing a train. You didn't pay enough for that." And it ended up being her man that walked through the room. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And guess
Wow.
Wow.
what? He took her back. He took her back. And his friend is like,
Yeah.
yo, bro, she was about to have sex with me. No, don't do this. And he's like, oh, well, her mom just died. And all she kept saying was, you weren't paying me no
Nah.
attention. You wasn't giving me no
Nah.
attention. Yeah, I'm dead ass. That's what the
He
video was. Yeah.
took it back
Guarantee you,
because of the
she got
Gok
that.
3000.
Yeah, she got that
Yeah.
dynamite.
Exactly. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason
Yeah,
why.
because that's the only thing your mind gonna be able to push past two dudes being in a room with your girl over what $60? What?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. And she
Yeah,
did. And he did. He took her back. It was like, oh, you should
that
have
was a
talked to me.
funky 40 and a 50% off deal.
Facts. He was on the
You know
clearance
about
rack. Like,
you know about
girl,
that.
Be quiet.
wait.
This is her show. No need to bring that kind of stuff up on her show.
I'm not,
Oh,
but I'm
wait,
just
wait, wait.
saying. Let's
Nope.
not act
Nope.
like.
What
Let's
you
not
know
act
about,
like.
wait. Wait,
Let's
what you
not act
know
like you
about
don't know about. There's like you don't. You know about the 40 plus 40. I'm just saying.
the 40
And it,
plus 40?
nope, we're not gonna do that on her show.
Nah,
We
you
gotta be.
mentioned it. Y'all
He
mentioned it.
mentioned it.
You
That's his
can't be
fault.
holding back. That's one of the rules. No holding back. Say what you got to say. So what's the 40 plus 20?
It was 40 plus 40.
So when I was homeless,
Mm-hmm.
it was this chick I used to work with,
Mm-hmm.
and me and her got to be kind of close. She didn't know I was homeless. She got kind of
Right.
close, and so I went over her house after work one night, and we got it in, and I called myself putting in my best work because I needed somewhere to sleep that night. It was kind of cold,
Right.
And she was on this, how when you're at somebody's house and they're ready for you to leave, but you ain't quite got it yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, what's on TV? And she's like, I don't know, but she stretched her arms out doing the whole movie. I'm tired.
Oh,
It
yeah.
kind of late. And I'm thinking to myself, she had already told me I couldn't spend the night.
Right.
So finally, I got the hint. It was time to go. I said, well, hell, I can run by the gas station, get some gas, put in the truck, then go down to the rest area and go to sleep for the night.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to the gas station, she had put $80, $85 in my wallet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey.
So
you put in your work.
46 thinks that is prostitution.
Well,
When it comes
that's
to
like
you,
a
it
tip.
is.
That was a
When it
tip.
comes to you, it is. If it was anybody else, then it's not. But because it's you, it is. It is.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was mad, but I wasn't mad enough to give it back. I was up in the store.
No, but when you do the math on it, yes, she gave you 85, but you went over there like 3 times, so she prepaid you. So you only got like what, $20 a pop, $20-some a pop. So you got less than the funky 40. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be bragging about that, really.
She treated me like a track phone.
Not the prepaid. Oh my god.
She prepaid them minutes.
Yeah.
She prepaid them minutes. I'm just
hey,
saying.
you know how you trying to be mad about something, and you like, I'm like, oh no, she ain't gonna treat me like no hoe. You put this money in my wallet. Hold up. You just changed the cheese in the nacho machine. Oh yeah, we about to eat good tonight.
Well, it must have been good if you kept going back.
Yeah, I went back.
Or did you go back for the money? Or did you go back hoping for another 80?
No,
actually, I was going back hoping somewhere to stay.
She prepaid, so she said there was no. He thought he was going back to get another 40, but she said I already paid you.
Okay.
You know how you leave? Every time I leave, I check my wallet.
I bet. I would too. Shit. Why not?
Be throwing little innuendos. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and leave my wallet on the dresser.
Oh, shit.
I don't know why he said that. I already paid him.
I'm telling you.
God, that's funny. You guys are hilarious. What time you normally do your shows so we could tell the people?
Tell them, producer.
8 p.m. Saturday night here on Stereo.
And that's
so that's I think that's why I couldn't get on, because we ended like right before it was time for me to get on with you and Icon. So I think that's where it glitched out and it would let me come up here with you.
Okay.
He always fell us short a little bit. He got us everywhere. That's my producer. We are everywhere. I mean, on every platform you can think of. He got us in every country. We ain't even in Russia right now. We everywhere.
And what's the name of it? What's the name of your podcast?
Them Damn Country Boys. We just go by the name. That's it. We don't have like most people have like a brand show. We don't have like a brand show because we talk about different things, but mostly we talk about relationship topics, but from our point of view.
That's what's up. I did catch a couple of your shows, but I'm gonna have to check it out some more. That's what's up. That's what made me want, originally send out the invite, was because I did catch a couple of your shows and I liked the perspective you guys have. And I thought it was, I'm not here to create an echo chamber. Like, I don't want to hear something that I agree with. Like, I want to hear the pushback. I want to hear the real deal, whether it's, controversial or whether I agree with it or not, because I think it's important,
Right.
And I honestly really feel that. Yeah, I feel like men don't get that space a lot of the times. We either shut it off as women. We're like, yeah, whatever. Or we just don't even ask, We just don't ask.
Right.
So, but yeah, you guys are hilarious. And how long you guys have been doing it? So how long you guys been doing your show?
We've been on Stereo since 2020, but I didn't start posting like all our shows until like 2021.
Wait a minute, you've been on since 2020?
Yeah, we've been on Stereo since like 20. Yeah, that's why we was able to move around like we would. Nobody really paid us any attention. So
you guys are OGs on here too.
Yeah, we've been on here for a while. Oh yeah.
Okay, because I've been on here since 2020, in September of 2020, so like a month after the app opened.
Okay.
So,
we were on like late. It was later. but it was in
Mhm.
Oh, so you in
2020.
the second wave?
Second
Must
wave,
have
yeah,
been. Yeah. When they started
yeah.
advertising on all those other platforms.
Ah, okay. That's what. Wow, I didn't know you guys were on here for that long.
Oh yeah,
But
we
I think it's because
are.
we don't, because we use, when we first got on, we'll be on here like every day, but we would be on like weird times, either early
Mhm.
in the morning or like late in the afternoon. And
Yep.
then once we got our shows on Pandora and stuff like that, then we just
Mhm.
started doing one day a week. So it's like one Saturday a week. So
Oh, okay. So now you do just once a week now, Saturdays,
once a week. Yeah, because of work schedules.
Yeah.
So
and
Oh,
you're on the East Coast, so that's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right?
that's correct.
yes. hmm
Okay. Okay. Well, the reason why I asked because I'm in California, so for me it's 8:15 right now, and it's 11:15 almost for you guys. So that's why I asked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, that's what's up. Well, I definitely appreciate you gentlemen coming up. I don't want to keep you all day for your Saturday because I know it's late over there. But we definitely
Mhm.
need to do a part two on this. And the next time I'll definitely invite you up, Big Hood, because I guess it's because I don't see it on your at name. All I see is Cold Train. I didn't
Yeah.
realize
Yeah.
who you were.
Yep. It's me, Coltrane, aka Big Hood.
All righty. But yeah, so I appreciate you gentlemen coming up. I appreciate your time. Did you guys want to tell anything to the people downstairs where they could find you, what they could listen to?
I
If
let
you
my
want to
producer
listen
do all
to,
that.
if you want to listen to any of, because right now we're in season 5. So if you want to listen to anything from that's right now or go back to like season 1, you can, listen to it on stereo, or you can go on, any podcast platform like Pandora, iHeart, um, Amazon, Spotify, just any platform you can pull up Them Damn Country Boys and you'll see our cover art and you can pull us up.
Bree, I really
That,
appreciate you having us on.
no, like I said, I wish I would have known it was you. I'd have pulled you up sooner. But I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I like your content. I've heard a couple of your shows. And I would love to have you gentlemen back again for sure when you have the time.
Just let us know.
We
Absolutely. Well,
appreciate it.
thank you guys for coming in. Thank you to the listeners in the bottom. And as we always say in these ANN chambers, keep your head on a swivel because the devil continues to deceive us all. And this is ANN blowing through like a gale force wind. And on that note, we're going to smoke bomb.
All right.